given access to receive messages of clarity, guidance, and love. As channeler, psychotherapist, and author, Noemi Grace has an intimate dialogue with the divine on your behalf. Lisa Berry, creator of the show Light on Living, will be co-hosting as live callers ask their burning question on self-love, self-healing, deepening relationships, areas of struggle, and next steps. By simply listening in, you're receiving wisdom that will lead to sacred stability from every channeled message that Noemi delivers. Join us now as we give you access to angels and grace.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Access to Angels and Grace, the final one of 2020. Hello, Noemi Grace.
Hello, Lisa. Yes, welcome, everyone. It's good to be here right in the middle of holidays and all the busyness and the strangeness of this year. So it's really nice to create that sacred space, to be here, to be present.
The sacred space amongst the strange. I think I love it. There you go.
You have a way with words.
And you know what? This is a neat one because we did not plan this. This is just absolutely, we trusted, we went through with it, and it ends up that we are wrapping up the first series, not into, we're not ending, but the first series, which we've been doing now for about 3 months, maybe four actually, but living beyond wounds. And how perfect and beautiful did it, like, we couldn't have planned this out. It's just amazing how it just did that. It's a miracle. Aha.
Aha, and that is where we're headed, into the miracles from wounds, the miracles that are available. Yeah.
Ooh, I like that you said available, because it doesn't mean that you're just given it. Doesn't mean that you'll always get it. But it is available. It's an A word. Thank you, Noemi.
Access, angels, available. You are welcome,
available
Lisa.
Access. There you go.
And so you actually came up with a prayer, and maybe you can share that, because I found it so powerful. It moved me so much about the Miracles from Wounds prayer.
Aw, well, thank you. And I want to share with listeners, because you now know, I have never been inspired to write a prayer. I even use the word that often. It's meditation would be a word, or affirmation, but to have this show up, and I thought, wow, it's Miracles from Wounds prayer, and I'm so happy to share it with you, and it was a hit. It's a hit prayer. Oh, that's funny. Hit prayer. Well, yes, I would love to read this, because you have some amazing channel messages that we're going to be sharing throughout the show today. So, yeah. So, everybody, please embrace, emerge, and enjoy the following prayer. Thank you for the miracle of my willingness to be with the wound. Thank you for the miracle of me witnessing myself in the wound and not judging or making myself separate from the wound. Thank you for the miracle of walking with the wound and not turning my back. Thank you for the miracle of listening to the words that offer gentleness, comfort, and love to protect the wound. Thank you for the miracle of knowing my worthiness to accept and allow the healing of the wound. Thank you for the miracle of my will and desire to live as a whole and perfect being beyond the wound. Thank you for my awakening to the miracle that has been born from the wound. And thank you for a wonderful life filled with miracles in every step of my life as I live beyond all wounds. Oh, there we go. Amen.
You channeled that.
Yes.
So you also have that gift. But I love how it starts with the willingness to be with the wound, because a lot of times we don't want to be with the wound. We want to. Oops, sorry, my volume was down way low. I love how it starts. I had that down so I wouldn't make noise, and so. But I love how it starts. How you channeled this, and how it starts with the willingness to be with the wound. A lot of times we're not willing. We want to push ourselves away from the wound. We want to push the wound away from us. We want to not deal with it. We want And if we don't deal, we don't heal. And yes. And so at the end, it's like the wonderful life filled with miracles. And it starts with that willingness. If we're unwilling to be with the wound, if we're unwilling to acknowledge the wound, if we're unwilling to accept the wound, if we are either pushing it away or pretending it doesn't exist, or angry and attacking the wound and attacking those that we blame for the wound, then there's no miracles. There's no awakening and there's no miracle.
Yeah, we lose out on all the W words that got to flow through that one. But I love that you said there's something about identifying the wound. I was thinking about this today, and I thought, have I done my work? Have I dealt with it so I can heal it? And I thought, or is this just light and fluffy in my mind, and I could imagine this and I can see it? But let's look. And I was trying to think, in my life right now, what are the things I am angry or picking at or attacking or blaming? And could I believe that there would be a miracle that came from it? That's what I did this morning. That was a toughie, I have to admit. But I did it.
And great point, because we're closing the Living Beyond Wounds series into moving into the miracles of Living Beyond Wounds series. So it's really a continuation, but it's a pivot from looking at the wound to a pivot of choosing the miracles and opening to the miracles. And so I really just love all of this, in terms of the wound. We're going to continue to be wounded, Think about your own physical body. It's not like you wound once and you heal and you're done, So we're going to continue, and it's a journey and it's a process, but it's that willingness and that awakening and that the choosing the miracle, choosing to believe that it's possible, and then choosing to embrace it. I choose the miracle. Ooh, and maybe it doesn't happen in that second, but it's a great mantra. Today, I choose miracles. I'm going to write that down. That'll be my 2021 mantra.
We're hashtagging that. You guys are going to see that all over our post. That's a hashtag right there. Thanks, Noemi. I choose miracles, or I choose a miracle, or miracles. I love this. Okay,
I like miracles. Why limit it to one miracle per day?
That's right. We get lost. Okay, so let's do a little thing right now and ask everybody right now, if you're listening and you are, with us, you're listening, you're with us on Facebook. We'd love for you to just, even on your own fun, anywhere, you can write it down, but hashtag I choose miracles. I love that. Noemi, this is fun. See, it's fun.
Oh, this is always fun. I mean, this is, we both enjoy doing this so much. In case whoever's listening hasn't recognized that, which is probably hard to not recognize, because we enjoy this. It is such a gift to be here in the space and to share this space and to invite others into this space. And now we're going to be so gifted. With the miracles, we were focusing on living beyond the wounds. You and I had wounds coming up left and right, and so we were instruments of it. We were becoming the message. And so I'm really looking forward to becoming the message of I choose miracles. Yay.
Yes. And I love that you said gifts. So many things that were running through my head around there, because one of the miracles that I do believe that we all, it's available, is that whole thing when you talk about listening. And I did a post the other day about just listening to the quiet and how beautiful it is. And it was really quite a serene picture and wintry scene. But it is about that listening. Where's the wound screaming at us so loudly, and it's saying, yes, blame that person, or you failed, or like it's loud. The wound can be loud. And it's that listening to be able to see and even know that a miracle is available.
So interesting. And I think that in the reading, this is a channeled message that I received over the weekend, which I called From Wounded to Wondrous. There is a place about that where it talks about the pain, because it's the pain that's loud. So the pain is loud, and the pain includes judgment. Well, judgment is really loud. As soon as we're judging ourselves or someone else, they ruined my life, or what was I thinking? How could I have made that choice? Regret, all of that. It really is loud. It really is. Yeah. It's screaming. And so to recognize that and being able to take our focus off of that and bring it to the love and then bring it to miracles that are possible and healing in between there. Love, healing, miracles. It's a path.
This is beautiful. It's just beautiful. And it really is about, we every time we come on air and we share this, but then I want to be integral and really show others that I'm doing that work too. And it is with intention. We do this. We have with intention. Stop and look at the live, and that's an interesting thing. I never quite thought about it that way. Like what is loud? What is the loud part right now? Is it, like you said, regret? Is it blame? Is it judgment? Like all those things, and really listen and say, all right, well, there we go. Now we need to go through those. All what we've just done in the series. Each show had a little theme to it, and do that with take that theme and work with the wound.
Yeah, and anyone who hasn't listened to the past series, the rest of the series, it's all archived on OMTimes radio, and yes, we've been progressing through the wound in a way, and so maybe this would be a good time for the reading of the channeled message.
Yes, perfect timing.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm just going to grab a swig of water. Channeling and reading the channeling always takes seems to take a lot of throat.
Yes, throat chakra.
The throat chakra. So, okay. So to understand the wound within the greater context of your life is the beginning of freedom from the wound. The wound has caused you to lose yourself, your joy, vitality, dreams, power, and so much more, and it has also caused you greater separation from the truth of who you are and how you live your life. This separation creates confusion and pain. You feel lost to yourself and lost on your way. The pain which you feel is only partially the pain of the injury and its impact on your life. The pain also includes the pain of loss and being lost. The wound creates a separation within you. The truth of who you are, of your light, beauty, gifts, talents, and loves gets obscured by seeing the largeness of the wound and focusing on it. The path out of the wound and back to yourself begins with adjusting your vision, taking your focus away from the wound and bringing it back to love, to your loving nature, to the truth of who you are. This shift in perception creates a miraculous shift that opens you to experience the miracles possible from healing the wound. The path from the wound to the truth of who you are is a path of miracles. To find this path, take your focus off the wound and place it on divine love, filling your heart and flowing from your heart to all of you. In doing so, you become front and center and the wound recedes. By simply shifting your attention this way, you begin to understand who you are and begin to see the wound as an important part of returning home to you. Before the wound, you still lived in separation from the truth of who you are. You were taught that you're something and someone quite contrary to who you truly are, and this kept you apart from your true self. Without the wound, you settle into complacency with a limited view and understanding of yourself. Our intention with you is for all of you to fully see who you truly are and to live that truth and expand that truth in your experience. The wound causes you to change your focus when it wakes you up to pain. Pain is a signal that something is wrong. You understand that the wound is what's wrong, yet we use the wound to pivot your awareness and experience to focusing and living the truth of who you are. You see, the pain of the wound also exacerbates the pain of separation you feel from yourself, from your true self. This pain is the opening to the truth you have lost. This pain awakens you to see yourself as wounded, but it is also a reminder of the timeless truth of the power and beauty of who you all are, and you have forgotten this power and beauty. The wound jolts you out of complacency. Can you then see beyond the wound, beyond the boundaries of how you've been living your life? Can you ask for our help to show you this? We are here to help you transition from wounded to the wondrous truth of who you are. Healing from the wound is a small step on the path of the miraculous, of transforming you from the life you've been living to a new life in which miracles abound. And the greatest miracle is for you to come home to yourself, to see and know yourself, not the self that you think you are, but who you are in the depths of your being. And once you align with this truth, miracles are possible, and nothing is beyond your imagination and ability to transform your life and world. A wondrous journey awaits you from being wounded to being fully alive, in resonance with the full truth of who you are. And we are here to assist you as companions on this great journey. In great love, namaste.
Oh, there's so many good things in there, and you know my favorite part. But what I will say, Noemi, that was absolutely beautiful. I'm so glad that you were able to channel that and get that. You're just wonderful at doing that. When we come back after commercial, I really, something really was highlighted and sparkly to me. It's kind of highlighted, and it was that when we are wounded, we are only half alive and not fully living. So when we come back, if you maybe have recognized with that, going, yeah, I'm only half alive, I'm not fully living, then come on back and we're going to have Noemi talk to Source and figure out what we can do about that.
The Real Conscious Connection. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. OMTimes Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle.
The universe is eager to help you and give you clarity. You only need to be willing to ask your burning question and listen to the answer Source wants you to have. As a channeler of divine messages, I take your questions directly to the divine and hear what Source is longing to tell you. I'm Noemi Grace, and my co-host Lisa Berry and I welcome you to join us as a listener or caller on Access to Angels and Grace, 2 Wednesdays a month. Call in, ask your most burning questions, hear the divine's exact words giving you guidance and clarity. Access to Angels and Grace, where messages of joy await you.
Hi, this is David Strickle. I'm excited to share my brand new show, The Stream of David Live, right here on OMTimes Radio. Each week I'll have exciting guests and I'll channel the eternal wisdom of the stream, a group of non-physical entities whose teachings have transformed lives all over the world. So join us for an uplifting hour each Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. That's The Stream of David Live right here on OMTimes Radio.
These are the sounds of a dinner that almost didn't happen. A dinner now served, thanks to people like you. Due to COVID-19, 17 million more Americans may face hunger. Feeding America is helping our neighbors in need. And if you're able, you can too. Donations are being accepted at feedingamerica.org/coronavirus. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Access to Angels and Grace. We are doing the final episode on our series that we've been doing here, Living Beyond Wounds, and we're getting excited and talking about what the next series is going to be about, which is all about miracles. And Noemi, when you were just reading that beautifully pre-channeled message, I'm wondering how many people really connect with that. Like, it's been a strange year, as you mentioned earlier, and it's like the wound can almost make us wait. That's W words again. The wound is making us wait for that wondrous life, and we're half alive. We're not living fully. And I wanted to just for you to just share more about that. When we think the wound is holding us back, and we're just waiting. Can we just be waiting and not? Is it healthy to wait? Is it healing? Are we supposed to move forward?
Well, So here's my sense of it. We can always ask the divine, but here's my sense of it at this time is that sometimes we need to wait. Sometimes we're not ready to heal the wound. Sometimes we need to wait before we can look at it, before we can address it. Sometimes we wait forever. We can be waiting. It's waiting because we're refusing to look at it because we're scared to look at it. We're afraid of it. And sometimes we don't know we're waiting. We're just avoiding, or we're not even aware. Mm-hmm. You can go through life wounded and not aware that you're wounded.
Yes, that is it.
Yeah.
Yes, avoiding and not aware. That's interesting because a lot of people, they really, like me. I think that's maybe one thing I would have done. That would have been me. Just not even, no, I'm wounded, but yeah, I've got other things to do. But then I'm like, wow, I'm not living fully because clearly there's some stuff holding me back over here. And I called it the lumpy rug. I think I've talked about that, making that lumpy rug. And so one day we're going to trip over all those lumps we've swept under that rug.
The lumpy rug. I like that. But when you say you're not living fully, and well, when they said, the source said, but, it's like if you injure your knee and you're limping through life, you're limping as you walk, there are things you can't do that you used to be able to do. Maybe if you were a skier or a runner, you can't do it now, or you have to do it very carefully. So it's not that let go and just run and let go and just ski. It becomes something that you have to be aware of with every step, and so you become aware of the wound. But then there's the awareness of what's beyond the wound, that healing. If we heal and we're not now the limping person, who are we and what's available to us? And to me, the A word, available, I like A words. The A word it's that available. It's available to what's healing's available. Miracles are available. It's always available. We may not know how to get there, but if we recognize it's available, that's a start.
This is such an interesting. This will turn into a question that I'm gathering, but with a mini story. Is my mother's passed away, and I've been going through boxes and boxes of stuff as the listeners have been following my journey here of unpacking stuff, and I came across just a few, very, very few things with my mother's handwriting on it. And now she always said, no, I'm not going to handwrite anything, because one year, one of my aunts had told her that she had terrible handwriting, and so my mother took it so, the wound was so deep, the pain was so bad, like it hurt, that she said, I will never write again. So she never wrote thank you cards. She never wrote in birthday cards. She didn't want to write anything, and so she was oh my gosh, my mother was so intelligent and creative, and she probably could have written beautifully, but her handwriting, she was so embarrassed about it. She identified with not being good enough so much that she was not living fully and would not write or let people see this. And I use that story because it's so everyday. Like, that's so simple. Like, a lot of people think, somebody told me I look purple and red, so I don't wear red anymore. Or, you know what I mean? We put this limit because somebody made a comment.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And then you said that she was a wonderful writer. So then how much not only did she lose out on, but the rest of you, her family, that she would have written these beautiful notes that now that she's passed, you would have those. So we not only limit ourselves, we not only keep ourselves from living fully, but that impacts the people we love and the people that love us. When we don't live fully, it does, even if someone else is really healing their wounds and has expanded awareness, it does impact. Because we're related. We're relational.
impact. Yes, the impact. Okay, I'm feeling a question coming on for Source here.
I feel that you're feeling a question. I have no idea what it is. And so for the listeners, I never know what question Lisa's going to come up with. I don't know I think Lisa doesn't know what question. Yeah, I don't think you know what question you're going to come up with until the moment.
Yes, exactly. It's actually rather large. You expand, and that's funny because when you said expanded awareness, I really my ears went, oh, expanded awareness. All right, that means we're growing, we're becoming more, that we're opening up, we're adjusting. But the impact, and sometimes I remember. Okay, so this is where the question's coming from. Sometimes we think, oh, God, I just got to worry about my own life. I can't be worrying about what everybody else is not getting now. What? This is such huge. But can we ask Source to share with us why we might personally care about the impact of others, that they are lacking? They're going to miss out on our gifts, on our shining light, of our things, and why that does affect us directly. It's not just like, why should I care about others? It is. You can still be selfish. Well, it is about you. You are affecting others, and it matters to you, not just to somebody else. And that's going to go in tandem with asking, because some people, because they're wounded, stop giving, and that's what you're saying. The impact, so they stop giving, and how that affects you. It's not just like you're not just holding out on somebody else. It is affecting you. And can you have Source to share that, like more about that?
Yeah, and sometimes people stop giving to themselves. And so the impact is really profoundly felt within you. But if you're not giving to yourself, you don't necessarily know that you're not receiving. You don't necessarily know the impact. Like, you were so aware of the impact when your mother stopped writing those beautiful, beautiful cards and beautiful notes. But when we stop giving to ourselves, we ourselves are not necessarily aware of the cost of that. And so there's a cost. There's a cost to... What was your question again?
Well, you're right. So sometimes people think, well, I'm not going to give that. They hurt me. I'm not going to give them my love anymore. I'm not going to be nice to them. But it's not about you giving to them all the time. Like the impact of it is about us as well. Maybe it's about that impact on whole. The cost. I love that you said the cost. And where, what's funny, this sounds funny, but in a house, if you've got bad windows, you're losing heat, but you don't know you're losing heat. You just keep turning the heat up, but it keeps on going out.
And the bill keeps going up. Yeah. But that's a great, because I've got an older house. And so, yes, my windows are definitely leaking heat. And so, yeah, exactly. So
leaking miracles. We're leaking miracles.
Well, I think we're putting obstacles to the miracles. We're leaking miracles. But I think the cost, while it's easy to see where the cost, sometimes the cost when we won't give to someone else, but I feel, to me, it's that cost to myself, and the cost and how that impacts the cost to other people.
Yeah, there you go. That's the one.
Because think of your mother, the cost to herself, feeling not good enough. And so she couldn't, and so that impact on her, carrying that pain, that burden, that suffering of not good enough, and then the cost to her, you and everyone she loved by not sharing her beautiful writing. And I think we all get those limited messages. We've all been told not good enough in some area of our life, and then we go and we hide that area, or we don't share that area, or we try to get validation for that area, or we try to spend so much time making that area more beautiful, more acceptable.
Yeah.
So let's ask about the cost and see where they want to go with it.
Cost and impact. Here we go. It sounds like a budget.
Okay. And I know they're aware of time. So if this is your first time listening, I take just a couple of moments to deepen that connection with awareness, with the divine, and then I greet the divine and turn it over to them. There's a couple seconds and they start to speak. So there'll be a little silence, but not going anywhere, going deeper. Oh, good morning, Divine. So grateful that you're here with us and to help us with this question, which seems so important. The cost and the impact of the wound and how that, since we're pivoting towards miracles, how that impacts us and others and prevents in some way the miracles. Whatever you want to share with us to help us to understand this and to help us to free ourselves from this. We are receptive. And we are grateful that you are receptive. And we are giving. And you are receiving. And the giving and the receiving is part of the cost. It is part of what transpires. When you are aware of the wound, you may not give. Or you may want to receive. You may be focusing on getting your needs met because you are wounded. Or you may try to give too much to make up for the wound, and you try to compensate for the wound. And in all of this, the wound is front and center. The wound is the operating principle. And we want to tell you that love is the operating principle. It is the operating principle of creation, of our relationship with you, of your relationship with each other. And love is the powerful healing force, and it is the source of healing, the source of the deepest healing, of emotional healing, of spiritual healing, comes from love. Love is always available. Love is here. Love is now. And love is in our heart. And we gift that love to your heart when you stop for a second, for a moment, and sit and receive. Stop running around. You don't recognize the cost when you are running around. Your schedules are full, your lives are full, but you are not fully living. How about that? Filled up with so much to do and so much obligation and so many shoulds and have-tos, and yet not fully living. Filled up and wounded. And we want you to be empty and free. Empty so that you can be filled up. Not with schedules and wounds, but with love and with compassion and with kindness and generosity and even miracles. Because miracles are available. And miracles are sourced in love. And we love you so much. We want you to love yourselves and to love each other. And the first cost is the lack of love, is the loss of love. You become lost, you lose love, and then you become lost to yourself. You don't know who you are. You either think you're someone so small and diminished by the wound, or you think you should be someone else, or you have a vision of yourself and it is incorrect. You are so beautiful and powerful. We want you to understand that. And all healing is available to you. The cost of being wounded and either recognizing that and coming from that wounded place, or trying to forget that and trying to avoid that, is so impactful. It impacts your ability to love and receive love. It impacts your ability to heal and receive healing. There is so much receiving that is lost. So much. The cost is so much that you are not receiving. You are maybe receiving suffering, but suffering is partially and majority of your own creation. After the wound, then the suffering happens. When you attach to the wound, when you identify with the wound, you are creating suffering for yourself. And so to the cost, if you cannot receive love fully, then you cannot fully be you, because your essence is sourced in love. The truth of who you are is a divine being in human form, and the divine attributes, the divine aspects, the divine element is love. And so you are love in human form, uniquely human and uniquely expressing love. And you may express it through compassion, kindness, caring, generosity, beauty, so many attributes. And you cannot express that fully when you are separated from yourself, and the wound creates the separation, and that is the biggest cost, that you are separated within yourself and you are separated from yourself. Within yourself, there is a split, and you cannot access the full beauty and truth of who you are, and you cannot be that relationally with others. And so you suffer and they suffer. And we have so much more to say about this, so much more. And we are aware of time. And so we are going to end this transmission, but we are going to ask for more time in this next transmission, that we have much more to say. We are so grateful for your listening and your loving. And we are loving, and we are present with you every moment. Namaste. Oh, yes.
Oh, I love their thing. We have more to say. We shall.
Yes, and I have.
Okay, we're talking again.
Yeah.
Okay. Noemi, as we go, I have to just say, as we go into the commercial break there, something that really came up and we're going to talk about is that you said uniquely express love, and each and every one of us does that. It's unique. We each uniquely express love, just as each flower is such a unique color. And if a flower one day decided, no, that's not the right color, I can't be that color, it would just change the entire bouquet. So I love that so much. So, I can't wait to hear what Source has more to say. We'll go to the commercial break, but yes, please, everyone, return so we can live fully and be that full garden of uniquely expressed love.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Conscious media for conscious minds. OMTimes. Being a radio host on IOM-FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Consistently attract soulmate clients, begin showing up on brand, monetizing on your calling. Welcome all spiritual coaches, leaders, healers, light workers, and practitioners to a show that turns you on in your business and amplifies your magnetism. I'm host, catalyst, and spiritual business coach Rosalind Fung, and I'm here to journey with you into the juicy and help you discover where the real gaps are. Ignite your mindset and soul with strategies and systems as each episode takes you to the sweet spot that activates your soulgasmic business by tuning in on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Mountain. Join me for your light language activation, and let's magnetize and monetize.
So I'm a cat, and I just moved in with this new human, and she's got this little toy she's always playing with all day long. Tap, 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 bloop, bloop. She can't put it down. There it is. Oh, and get this. She even talks to it. Last week, she asked it for Chinese, and guess what? Egg rolls showed up. Like magic. Humans have cool toys.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
All right. Oh my gosh, I feel I'm getting the miracle bug. I really do.
I think that's a good bug to have.
Yes, that's the one we want. The miracle bug. Okay, wow. So everybody, yes, welcome back. Access Angels and Grace. We are so happy to do the show. Noemi Grace is just, you channel so beautifully, and you are a writer, and carrying that all with your psychotherapist side of you. And I have a Noemi question, just randomly asking this. Do you, because you have a very full practice, my goodness, you're ever so busy. Whenever we try to catch you, I'm like, I hope I catch her. Do you find that whatever the theme is that we're working on, does it show up in your clients often? Are you noticing a theme, or is it completely all over the place, random?
Yes, everyone seems to be all over the place. My awareness is changed by becoming present with our theme, with what we are introducing next time, what we are talking about, you and I, in between shows. So my awareness is expanded through that. My awareness is focused on that. So I bring that awareness in talking to clients. So I may see something within them that I might not have seen prior. Or I may offer them some strategies and tools that are based because of my awareness. So yeah, it impacts my awareness, which therefore impacts my practice.
You use the word impact, haha.
I love the word impact.
Well, that's interesting because I'm just noticing how, sometimes, so I'm a life coach, so I'm talking with people. I'm also a friend and a sister and a daughter, so I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to people. And I find that sometimes when we're, I want to say maybe stagnant, or we just need a little spark of a miracle to something. I'm doing this to toot our horn, to say everybody must listen to us, because sometimes when you just are a little stagnant, if you tune in and listen to any one of the episodes, it gives you something to do. When you're bored, that's what I want to say. Sometimes we get bored in life and we think, what can I do to love myself a little more? Well, you know what? Each and every one of our shows, I think that's what you and I try to do, is show people how they can ask, how can I love myself more? And then receive that.
Mm-hmm. And even if you're not bored, but you're stagnant.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. We're peeling layers, every time. So you can peel some layers off of you, in that being stagnant. I mean, we all get stagnant in life, and it's stagnation. I see it as, okay, something's building up, that a change, a shift needs to happen. I'm feeling stagnant at this level because it's time for me to jump to the next level, to open up to something new.
Ooh, I like that. You know what's funny? I actually like the open to something new, like a lotus or flower opening, because we know I don't like onions, but I don't want to peel the layers of the onions. I want to open up another layer and open up another layer. That's just beautiful. Oh,
that's a nice visual. I used to have a rose garden when I lived in California, and the weather was conducive for rose gardens all the time. Southern California, I had a rose garden and all these different colors, and they would open almost like in layers. You get that outside layer just opening, and it was a tight bud, and then you get a little more and a little more and a little more, and eventually it'd be all open. So I like that metaphor.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, I think we're more flowers than onions. Okay, good. Well, I'm loving this show. I'm loving the miracle. I'm going to call it a bud now as opposed to a bug. Ha ha, the miracle bud. And as we kind of go through the prayer, I'm bringing it back, circling around the prayer, because I know that Divine just wants that. Yes, very happy that this is there. Because we're going to go back in and have you open up that channel again, which is always open, but it's always available. I used all W words for some reason. They just kept showing up in there. From the willingness to the witnessing, to the walking with, to the words offered of gentleness and stuff, the worthiness and the will. I am drawn to that one, and then the awakening, of course, to the miracles. But there's one that was there. But thank you for the miracle of my will and desire to live as a whole and perfect being beyond the wound. I do believe that is a miracle. Can we talk? We'll let Source continue from last, but then can we add in there the will? Why bother? I think I'm hearing that question in my mind right now with the strangeness of the words. Why bother doing this? Why bother getting dressed? I can go on Zoom, just with the top on and my pajama. Why bother? I'm just being silly there. Why bother caring and giving? Why bother trying to celebrate the holidays this year? Because it's so different. It's a will. It's the will that the question is how can do we strengthen our will, or do we need just to see the will? How can we increase that will and desire to know the miracle from the wound? That's the one.
Okay, got that. To know the miracle, to experience the miracle. Yeah. Will is such an important topic, and there's so much that I'm aware of, that I've been increasingly aware of, that's different than, like willpower. Just make it happen, the Nike ad, make it happen. And that's not, make it happen. You don't make healing happen. That's not how it happens. And so, okay, I'm just going to grab a swig of water and we'll go in, giving the divine enough time to share some miraculous wonderment with us. Oh, divine, we're so eager to hear what you have to say. And there's a new question as well about how we can increase our will and desire to know and experience the miracles that are available beyond the wound. So whatever you can share with us, we are receptive again. And we love that you are receptive. We love that you are opening. We love that you're curious. You're interested. These are important things. The wound gets you uncurious and uninterested. You become a survivor, but you are in survival mode. You have not truly survived the wound, but you are surviving life. And so in this space, you do need a strengthening of the will. But this is not the ego will. This is the will that is a force to be reckoned with. It is the force of life. This that we are talking about is your life force. And to strengthen it, not that it is weak, because your life force is so powerful. It is like the roots of a tree that splits a rock to grow deeper into the soil. And your will is that powerful. That life force is that powerful, but you are not accessing it so much of the time. The channel by which you access it can become down to a trickle. And so life force is trickling. It's like a drop from a leaky faucet. Drop, drop, drop. Slow drips. And this is, with the slow drip, you cannot create a miracle. You need that faucet opened all the way, and you can be filled up and flooded with love and joy and compassion and kindness and generosity and peace and beauty and so many more things. And so when we talk about increasing the will, increasing the life force within you, it is not about willpower. It is not about bucking up and pulling yourself by bootstraps and making it happen. It is about surrendering. It is about surrendering all of that and coming into your heart, into a place of acceptance and compassion within yourself. And we'll help you with that. Simply ask. Ask for our help, and we will fill you with self-compassion. And it is about coming into the depths of who you are and seeing how that life force will rise up. So you want to increase the channel. You want to open it wide. If you had a trickle of water coming into your house, and you could open up that channel by opening it up, by digging, by creating space for it. And you want to create space for that life force. And you do that by getting rid of what is detracting from it. Are you willing to walk away from the things that do not serve you? First of all, judgment, self-judgment. Are you willing to walk away a little bit from that? Are you willing to learn to not judge yourself? And with every act of self-judgment, that life force decreases. That life force becomes more of a drip. And with every act of self-compassion, you increase that life force. And so bringing in that compassion, catching yourself in judgment and going, oh, I'm diminishing my life force by this. Is this so important to me, whatever I'm judging myself about, that I will continue to decrease my life force over this? Is that really so important? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Is it kind? Ask yourself this question. Is it kind? If it's not kind, stop doing it. Kindness is in your essence. It's in your blood. It is an expression of who you are. And so to increase that life force, to increase the will, to increase your ability to access miracles, to access healing, to live freely, free from the wound, free from the judgment. Start to become more aware of where you are diminishing that life force. Where are you causing a trickle by the judgment, by the unwillingness to share yourself fully, to be authentic, to free yourself from toxic people, places, things, jobs, all kinds of things that are toxic in your life. How can you free yourself? It doesn't mean you walk in tomorrow and say, the boss, I'm out of here, you're toxic. But it does mean that you start to look at how you can change your relationship to what is toxic. How can you put up boundaries? How can you free yourself and heal yourself and love yourself through it? How can you take care of yourself through it? Increase your life force. Increase that will, which is your force of life. Increase that. Focus on creating that current, that current that is flowing like a river that cannot be stopped. If you see a river that is flowing, you cannot stop it. You may build a huge dam at a great cost. You wreck this huge structure to stop it, but you cannot stop it by your will. You cannot stop it by ignoring it. You cannot stop it by pushing it away. And so become that river that cannot be stopped by feeding yourself and feeding your life force and becoming aware and changing those things that you do, stopping those things that you do that are unkind, those things that you do that diminish your life force. Open yourself to become the force that you are, because you are a great force. And a great force lives within you. Your life force, your well of power that is sourced in love is within you. And it is unstoppable when it is fully flowing. Seek to become that. Bring that into your awareness. Write notes to yourself. Create affirmations and mantras and become more increasingly aware of this. And your life will shift. And it will amaze you. And we are complete. Namaste.
I loved how that came around to be life force.
Mm-hmm.
But I love that connection. And Noemi, source is on with the water today. We had rivers and dams and wells and floods and faucets. It's like, whoa!
I love water. Yeah.
It's a W word. And it's a W word. I love
it is a W word, yes.
Now, the fun thing, the well of your will. That was beautiful. I really like that.
That was said. Oh, the well of your will. See, I don't always remember everything that comes through. Well of your will. I love that.
I have to go back and hear that, but I want to take this just a moment or two to first of all invite everybody, absolutely everybody, to our second series, which is called The Miracle of Living Beyond Wounds. And we're going to begin this in 2021 at a new time. And so right now, you guys have been tuning in at 11 a.m., but we are now going to be right at lunchtime, 12 p.m. noon Eastern Time, every second and fourth Monday of the month. Noemi, Grace, and I will be showing up, and Noemi will be channeling, and we'll be doing readings from who knows what comes up, right? It's going to be a miracle every time.
It'll be a miracle, yeah. So that's the next one is January 11th, Monday at noon for Eastern Time. We used to be at noon, and we switched to 11 and found that noon worked better for us personally, but also for some of the listeners, at least on Eastern Time. So, because it's lunchtime for a lot of people.
Yeah, I actually have to laugh because, of course, it's January 11th that we are going to be back, because the 11 is like a doorway to me, and it's the access to angels and grace through the doorway of the 1/1, the 11. So I'm really happy and excited to see everybody. We'll talk to everybody in the new year, and of course, find a wonderful invitation. Everybody, Noemi's book is absolutely beautiful. Noemi, please see the full title and where they can get it, because this is an absolute best awesome, wonderful gift that you can buy yourself for self-love for the new year, a New Year's gift. I love that.
Oh, that is wonderful. Thank you so much, Lisa. And it's called An Intimate Dialogue with God, The Miraculous Power of Unconditional Self-Love. So it is available on Amazon, Noemi Grace, An Intimate Dialogue with God, and it changed my life, becoming a channel for that book. And so much more kindness, love, compassion, joy, peace, all of it from being that channel. And it has that ability because it is divinely sourced. It's not all me. It's divinely sourced to help all of us become more loving and kind.
I think that's a wonderful way to step into the next year. So Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year, Noemi. I've loved 2020 with you. Do it all. So thank you.
Yep.
We'll see everybody January 11th at noon Eastern.
Okay. Happy New Year, everyone.
Oh, Happy New Year. Bye, everyone.
Bye.